Hello, everybody. Today we are here to talk about what happens when your town gets really bad and the police don't show up for you. Um, got the old dog here who's kind of an expert on some subject matter, and then I'm not near as much an expert on the subject matter, but we have subject matter anyway. I'm going to let him start off here now, and you can.
Okay, I am told that I'm supposed to speak a little bit about my background, and as you can see it back there, it's a bunch of books, and they don't have any pictures in them, so I'm not really interested.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
They're big enough, they ought to have.
They should have, but they don't.
How about those books on that side? Should we change to the other side of the.
I haven't read them either.
You haven't read them either?
No.
Well, how do
Okay,
you know they don't have pictures in them?
because I haven't read them. If they had pictures, I'd read them.
I see.
Okay, yeah. So we need to talk a little bit about something of interest. Do you have any ideas?
Well, you had mentioned federalizing the troops.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when the president will put the National Guard under the authority of the regular military. And it can be done under various different conditions. Number one, if there's an insurrection, and number two, if there's a rebellion. Um, and if there's no way that those things can be taken care of by regular judicial process, then the president can he's authorized to federalize the troops.
When so exactly what is it that authorizes the president to federalize the troops?
I just told you.
Well, I got that, but what part of the
Oh,
what
okay.
part of the law?
Well, under under 10 U.S. Code Section 252, that's a federal law that authorizes the president to to federalize the National Guard, to move in if there's a rebellion, if there's something where he needs the assistance of the National Guard to enforce federal law. If there's a rebellion against federal law, such as what we see in these days regarding the resistance against ICE, then the under USC 10 Section 252, the president is authorized to utilize the National Guard to assist in the enforcement of federal laws and to suppress any kind of rebellion or insurrection.
Can the president use regular troops, the regular U.S. Army, or the Marines or whoever to?
No, the Marines are busy.
They're busy.
Yeah, they're tearing up stuff overseas.
Okay, well, where's the army?
Your guess is as good as mine. Army stands for ain't a real Marine yet.
So, could he use the regular army instead of National Guard troops in this?
Well, once he federalizes the National Guard, they become the regular army.
Okay, what would prevent the him from just using the regular troops that he has, the regular army troops that he has?
The Posse Comitatus Act.
Okay, what is that?
Beats me.
Just
The Posse Comitatus Act is an act that was passed by Congress to prevent the use of federal troops to enforce local law.
okay. So if he federalizes the National Guard so that they are now federal troops, would that not be violating that act?
There are exceptions to the Posse Comitatus.
Okay. So what are those exceptions?
I just told you. But you want me to read it to you, don't you? Well, I can't find it here.
There's no pictures, are there?
Oh, yeah. It says federalization can occur in situations of rebellion, invasion, or when the president. Oh, I just can't hardly read these days.
The
When the
word is
president deems, yeah, that's what the word says, deems it necessary to enforce federal laws. So, in the words of a dog, the president, if in fact he has federal agents, ICE agents, in a city, and there's a rebellion against them, then he can federalize the troops to assist those agents in enforcing the federal law.
So if, in other words, like these sanctuary cities that are not allowing their local law enforcement um, to help with the immigration enforcement people, such as ICE, or even that are protecting them when they are having emergency situations where they're being surrounded and attacked.
Yeah.
Is that what you're?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What you'll find though is that some of the district judges are politicized.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Lady Justice is no longer blind. So because of that, you will see when a judge is referred to in the news media, they always tell who appointed them. Are they an Obama appointed judge, a Trump appointed judge, a Biden Autopan appointed judge? So even though the law clearly says that the president under those conditions can federalize the troops, these judges sometimes will use their own political agenda, their own position to bring forth their own political agenda. And then, as it gets appealed and it gets all the way up to the Supreme Court has already told those lower district judges that they have no jurisdiction over anything that pertains to the national issues. That they only have jurisdiction within their district, and the Constitution specifically says that they only have jurisdiction within their district. So, a federal judge, a lower court, not the Supreme Court, but the federal judge has no authority to use executive powers to direct how the president deploys National Guard.
What if there's a state law that they come into conflict with if they're trying to enforce it?
Yeah, that's no problem. The Constitution has what's known as a supremacy clause. And the supremacy clause clearly states that federal law is supreme to state law. Therefore, any state law that is in conflict with the federal law is null and void and unconstitutional because of the supremacy clause.
So that brings up another interesting point. What about all of these marijuana laws that are on the books in the various different states legalizing marijuana? Well, that's still against the law federally.
Well, they consider that to be two different jurisdictions, and under the states' rights, the states can have certain laws, but if it was challenged federally, the law would still be ineffective. It just doesn't get challenged federally.
Let me ask you this. I know it's kind of a rabbit hole that we're going down, but how about like with Missouri, where they added it to they've made it a part of the state constitution?
Yeah. If it were ever challenged federally, the supremacy clause would take effect. It's just like when the states passed a law called the Second Amendment Preservation Act, in which case They made it illegal for local officials to cooperate with the federal officials, and the Supreme Court declared that to be unconstitutional because of the supremacy clause.
Okay. What about immigration laws that would be in conflict with the that states have passed, like the sanctuary city things?
The courts have found those sanctuary cities to be constitutional for some reason, and yet the Constitution in Article 2 of the Constitution expressly says that the president shall take care that all of the laws are faithfully executed. And there are laws with regard to how to get into this country legally, but there's also a clause in the Constitution that allows the states to accept immigrants and set the amount that they can accept. However, those laws or that clause does not eliminate the need for the president to execute the laws faithfully.
Okay, how about in the cases where the immigrants are here illegally, where they have not come in through legal means?
Well, there's a process to prosecute and deport, to deport those particular people to their whatever typically to their country of origin. But if that country, if for some reason that they are exiled from that country, or if they are seeking amnesty, then they can be sent to some other country if they are not left to abide here in the United States and go through the legal process.
Well, there you have our take on that. I'm being motioned that time is about to expire here. And so we need to maybe save just a quick second for a word from our sponsor.
Okay.
We have a great sponsor this week. This week we're sponsored by us. We think we're pretty good, and we think that you should too. So come check us out.
And if you disagree with us, that's okay. Just don't say anything.
That's right. Still give us a like when you watch this video. If you have any other things that you would like for us to comment on, we may not know anything about it, but we will still expound on it as best as we can. Just drop a comment below, and we hope to see you next time.